JB, Magic outscored the Pelicans in the paint, I think 64 to 36. How did your team accomplish that, particularly on the defensive end of the floor?
We've continued to emphasize every day having personal pride in defending your man one-on-one. When our defense breaks down, the ball's away from us, we will help each other. We'll cover for each other, we'll be aggressive in the paint, we'll be aggressive at the rim, and our mentality is the same every night.
JB, what are you saying at halftime? I think 5 games you've been down at halftime all 5 times, but the way you're playing in the second half it seems like there's a sense of urgency, and you held them to 37 in the second half. That's happened 3 or 4 times now.
It's really the men in that locker room. They've decided and committed to each other. They're a unit. They're fighting for each other, pulling together. They knew at halftime we didn't have a great first half. It wasn't a terrible first half, but it was not what we were looking for. We decided to share the ball, move the ball, kick it, hit the open man, pick up our defense, our urgency, and we got contributions from everywhere. It was a great team effort. All men in that locker room contributed tonight.
Can you talk about the way the chemistry you see with Alfred and Victor? He found Victor with 3 or 4 backdoor cuts tonight.
Those two really set the tone for us tonight. We have challenged Alfred Payton to pick up, to be aggressive. He's the face of our defense. When he picks up, when he's aggressive, we become aggressive. Victor followed suit. He continued the aggressiveness. He got us off to a good start. Offensively, he was aggressive. When Vic's in attack mode, when he's aggressive, we feed off that. Those two are growing together, are becoming a unit, and they'll continue to do that.
How did you guys attempt to slow down Anthony Davis tonight? Was there any sort of particular scheme there that was in play, or did he merely have an offshoot in that?
Nick and Dwayne did a great job on it. We challenged him. They guarded him one-on-one. They were in his body. He made a few jumpers there in the second quarter, but we were aggressive on him. And the other guards around him, we showed him a crowd. We didn't give him any space, and it's just it's a real tribute to what our group is doing. They're buying in. They're believing in each other. They're covering for each other. It's not a one-man show. It's not a one-man defense. It's a 5-man unit pulling together, covering for each other, and swarming that ball.
Along those lines and building that defensive mentality, first half New Orleans shot better than 50%. The team was struggling to generate a lot of offense, yet you're still right there in the game. How important of a step is that to see the team maybe give up a high field goal percentage but still use their defense to stay in the game?
Our defense sustains us. Every night we defend, it sustains us. It keeps us in all the games. Whatever's going on offensively doesn't affect our defense. It keeps us in games. It extends our leads. It's what we thrive on. And to hold this team, that's a very good team, to hold this team to 42%, 37 points in the second half, 13 points in the fourth quarter. And we challenged that group in the fourth quarter to have our best defensive quarter of the game, and they responded.
For someone who hadn't played in more than a month, did Andrew's play surprise you at all, considering how rarely he'd gotten in, and how ready did he keep himself?
And Andrew has stayed ready. He has stayed committed to this group. He's done his work. And like we've told our guys from the start, all 15 are live. Any man, their number could be called any night, any minute. And Drew responded tonight. He'll be ready the next time. Kyle O'Quinn will be ready. Dwayne Dedman will be ready. When your number's called, you step up. And Andrew was an example of that tonight.
James, do you see a belief kind of growing in this bunch? They've talked about how the vibe is different, how they're watching each other's back better now, helping each other on defense. Do you see kind of a belief for them?
They believe they can win every game they step on the floor.
Josh. James, what was some difference there early in the fourth quarter? You had your second unit in there surrounding, I guess, Evan as well. What made them as effective as they were?
They played together. They're a unit. Luke Ridnour, Willie Green, Evan Evan Fournier, Andrew Nicholson, Dwayne Dedman. They were fantastic. They got us off to a good start. Willie Green, I'm not exactly sure on the stat line, but he impacted that game on both ends. And we talked about Elfrid Payton picking up, being aggressive defensively. Willie Green did just as much defensively for us tonight. He was into Tyreek Evans. He was aggressive. He was in the ball. Offensively, he moved the ball. He got us, I believe, 5 big points that we needed when the game was tied. And he's really stepped up and been a great leader for us.
Coach, talk more about Elfrid's night tonight. It seems like today was a perfect example of him learning from his first matchup with New Orleans and kind of making tweaks here and there to have a wonderful night tonight.
We wanted him to be aggressive on both ends of the floor, and he was tonight. He set the tone for us defensively, offensively. He's in attack mode. He's setting the tone for the entire offense. He's moving the ball, sharing the ball, getting in the paint, moving it to the next open man. He really sets the table for us in a lot of ways offensively. And when he's moving it, the next man decides he can share it too, and it's contagious.
Does it say something about the fundamentals of your defense that you were able to play such a good defensive game despite having only 3 blocks and 4 steals? Like the numbers don't shout out.
The number that concerns me is 36 points in the paint, 42% from the floor. Those are the 2 numbers I'm worried about. The blocks will come. We will still affect shots at the rim, even though they don't put a number in that block column. Our bigs will be there. We'll challenge every shot, and we'll continue to protect our paint.
Okay, thank you. 11:45 tomorrow.